Hey YouTube.
What's up,
Hey,
YouTube?
YouTube, what's up, sexy people?
Let's play our intro.
Not yet.
Oh, my bad.
Chill.
Our show is finally old enough. Old enough for what? Old enough to party?
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
To children.
The codes of self-esteem. It's the codes of who you are.
Are you ready?
What's up, Primos? It's your prima, Jules. And of course, I am here with the Primos, Brandon and Steve. Say what's up, y'all.
What up? Nah.
What's up?
What's up, primos? Nah, just kidding.
Hey, what's up, Primos? We got I had surgery the other day, so my voice is.
Are you for real?
No,
No.
Why would you lie?
bro. You see me like every other day. When would I have time to have
Why
surgery?
would you bring up something so serious?
Yeah.
What if it wasn't serious? What if it's like hair removal surgery?
Hair removal
Yeah,
surgery?
I'm a hairy guy,
and it was like an invasive surgery?
I had to raise. yeah.
Wow. Well, we've got an amazing show today. When don't we, right?
Right.
Sure.
When don't we?
Brandon?
All our fans would be like, y'all lame.
Y'all trash.
You guys are trash.
You guys suck. Not funny.
Why y'all still here?
Should I just kick off my segment?
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's
so
go, Brandon.
we've had a busy.
ready?
You know what? I've been trying to get this segment on for like a month, and it's not because nobody wants it. It's just we just had a weird month, right? We had
Yeah.
we had the
We had a few
studio
guests.
break down on us twice.
Yeah.
Had a
Mhm.
couple guests, but now we're back to our like humble beginnings. 18th episode, it's we got a podcast coming up on the 20th. So tune in. But anyways,
So
I
what's
was-
your segment, Brandon?
So I was looking up. I was on TikTok, right?
Mhm.
There's this guy who they always show. I'm assuming he's a professor, like a psychology or neuroscience professor or something. I've seen him before, but he's always on there. I think his name is Robert Sapolsky.
Mhm.
Anyways, he's talking about how like if you go to any mammal, right, or most mammals, and you give them rotten food or like sewage or something, there is something in the brain. There's a part of your brain that'll give you an extremely horrible reaction, right? Because it's keeping you from poisoning yourself. So if I gave you a piece of like rotten meat, you'd probably throw up,
Mhm.
and that's good because you'd probably poison yourself, right? If you ate it.
Maybe.
And the part of the
Built different. Built different.
I'm built
Maybe.
different, so maybe not.
Maybe
but
not.
Go ahead.
Well, and most people who aren't built different,
Uh-huh.
the reason that this happens is the part of the brain that's responsible for this is the insular cortex.
Okay.
And he
Really?
was saying what's interesting about that is so that's responsible for disgust, right? So he was saying what's interesting about that is that part of the brain is also responsible for moral disgust. So if you let's say for it depends though. So let's say for you, I say someone puts up, I hate Mexicans, or I hate the gay community, or I hate this. The same part of your brain that would make you vomit if you were to eat rotten food is the same part of your brain that makes you go, why would you say that? So it's interesting to me. And he was talking about what's weird is like it's a moving target. So it's not the same for everybody. So for someone else, being like inclusion, that'll give them the reaction of disgust. And I was like, that's really interesting to me because like I was thinking about like, does that mean we have free will or we don't have free will? Because if you really think about it, someone who's it's their brain doing it, right?
Mhm.
And you have to it's just that's the way that they're manufactured. I'm sure you could probably change it, but that's just really interesting to me that like the part of your brain that's responsible for making you vomit when you like have rotten food is also responsible for making you like hate people.
You know, it makes me think about recently, like a few days ago, I was driving back to the house, and on the way there, I saw a coyote, and in its mouth was a chicken, like a full, not like a piece of chicken, like a chicken with feathers and like legs, and I couldn't tell if it was still alive. It was literally on our street. And when I saw it, I felt so bad. I kind of wanted to like chase the coyote and try to get the chicken because obviously it's probably from Around, for those of you who don't know, around my house, there's some people who own chickens.
Mhm.
So that coyote went in there and killed one and was snatching it up, and he was walking up my street, and I was like gonna chase after, but it went into an alleyway. And I told my mom because it actually really disturbed me. I felt bad because it was clearly like if it wasn't dead already, there might be a chance that it was like still alive because it looked like it was just freshly killed.
Yeah.
There was no blood or anything. The coyote just had it in its mouth.
Mhm.
And I told my mom, and she's like, "That's just life, dude. That's life." That coyote, she said, that coyote has a right to live. He has a right. Now, how else is he gonna live?
Yeah.
Like he has a right to do that. It's his own like nature, and it kind of goes back to what you were saying of like to me, I thought that was disgusting. I was like, not disgusting in the way of like, oh, I can't believe anybody would ever harm, because I mean I fucking love meat. But like I thought it was like, dude, that's just somebody's chicken who's clearly just chilling at somebody's house,
That's
and
weird,
like
huh?
he's innocent, and all this, and the coyote just killed them.
Well,
And but then like I said, I have no problem doing that myself though. Like if it was me.
well, what's weird? Okay, keep that in mind because I actually want to talk about something.
Okay.
It's related. But what I was thinking when related to this, I was on a walk. Sometimes I just mutter to myself when I walk. And
Mhm.
I was thinking, people still evolve, right?
Mhm.
Like because we're animals, like
Yeah.
they evolve. But it's not like, obviously it's slow. Like we don't notice it as much. And I was thinking, do you think like part of our evolution is the evolution of like acceptance or like being kinder in a weird way? Like, do you think? Because I know if you go back like 200,000 years, you could pick a human and bring them now, and it'd be unnoticeable. And I was like, is that true? Do you think like if you got someone from 2,000 years ago and you raised them like, to be tolerant, to be kind, do you think they could be, or do you think they haven't evolved that yet?
No,
You know what I mean?
I think so. I think that the only reason why humans back then were more, I guess, like barbaric, if that's what you want to call them, is just because of a product of their environment.
Right.
Like if you grow up 2,000 years ago and you're hunting and like you're at war with other tribes, and like you, in order to survive, you have to kill animals and slaughter them. Um, you do it. I mean, if like think about the most liberal, especially we live in California and Los Angeles. Think of like the most liberal person, hipster, like dyed hair. Like think about it. If you got them when they were a baby and dropped them back then, they'd probably be extremely tough. They'd be tougher than you are now. It's just a product of your environment. I mean, like if I grew up right today, if I grew up in a rancho, bro, and like I saw the same thing with coyote eating chicken, I'd just be like, damn, it'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah, I would be mad. I lost a chicken. But bro, that's my food.
I don't know. I just wonder sometimes because I'm like, well, because I mean, I don't know that don't quote me, but um, I think the general consensus of why people are like kind and friendly to each other is because, right, it creates social bonds. We hunt together. We're supposed to
Mhm.
be together. Otherwise, we wouldn't survive in the wild. Like an animal would pick us off if we were one on one, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. Like I feel like maybe we've evolved because like if
But-
everybody's like, because think about it, like if you're a kid, right, and you're in California now, and it's kind of like unacceptable to be, it's socially unacceptable, right, to be like hateful and spread hate, right? Like
Mhm.
people still do that, but it's socially unacceptable, right?
Mhm.
Do you think that like that does something to you, like it changes your nature? So like their kids are
But,
more,
like-
because if you look at animals, they don't breed animals that are aggressive, right?
Yeah.
And
That's true.
right. So I was like, do you think that like for whatever reason we're evolving to be kind? Or you think I'm just
I feel
I'm
like
uneducated?
that's not even that you're uneducated, man. I get what you're getting at, but to me, it's like those things that you're saying are kind of your morals, and it isn't like the objective. Like I don't think that's objectively the what's good or bad. Like I could easily see somebody being like, "No, fuck animals and fuck all these other people." That's like to care about anybody else other than yourself is bad. Like to care about anybody else other than yourself, that's bad. And to me, I see that as weakness, and I see that as disgusting. I don't wanna ever think about other people because all the only thing that matters is myself. And they think of that as good. That's their morals. I'm speaking in a made up character. That's not what I believe in. I know it sounds like that's what I'm saying, but um like I'm saying, there could be a person who believes that and they see all of this. I mean, think of like They've even made movies about people like this, like Taxi Driver or like Joker.
No,
People who
I feel that, but like that aside, like the labels aside, looking at all of humans, all of them together, the path that it's going is obviously better, right? It's better in like the general term, right? There's not as many wars. I think we're in a, what do they call it? The Great Peace after
Mhm.
World War II.
Yeah.
The wars are way less.
Yeah.
Um,
Interesting. Yeah, I know.
human rights
It is.
are
Yeah.
so like yeah, we label those as good, but those qualities, like just objectively, those qualities of being understanding,
Mm-hmm.
being friendly, being not confrontational, but not wanting to fight everybody. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, do you think that that's something that's evolving as like a better trait? That's
Well, I get what you're
like in
saying.
an evolution kind of way. Not necessarily that it's like good is triumphing over evil, just like qualities that we label
Mhm.
as good
I get what you're
Mm.
saying.
are, you know what I
I
mean?
get what you're saying. Joe, do you have something to say, or do you mind if I keep
I was
talking?
just thinking, but I just feel like it's because I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
So,
I'm
so
kind of lost.
what he's
But
saying, what
but
he,
I no,
what,
but what I was gonna say is I feel like a lot of it has to do now that we have a lot more manners now.
Well,
Like
no, but what he's saying is that like, as if you look at the history of humans
Mhm.
since like the beginning of civilization,
Mhm.
we've only gotten better. We've never taken steps back. We've become more inclusive. We've become like better at our education. The average person is smarter than they were
Yeah.
back in the day. Our technology has gotten better. Um, our there's less wars, like what he said.
Mhm.
And he's saying that like you're saying that is that like
well, I'm saying that like okay, so going back to, there's a part of the brain that's responsible for morals, right?
Mhm.
mhm.
I'm saying, do you think that coincidentally evolution has chosen that the qualities that we label as good as more favorable, so we're evolving in our brains to have those more favorable qualities?
Mhm.
So what I'm saying is, do you think like on a personal level, do you think maybe our kids are different from someone 200,000 years ago because for whatever reason just that part of the brain is now evolved because it's more socially acceptable?
I
You
get
know
what
what
you're
I mean?
saying. Dude, are you good?
Kinda. I'm still lost, bro.
So I get what you're saying, and I don't think so. I don't think our kids are any different. I think it's definitely environmental. I think that when our kids are born, they're gonna be shaped by the world that we've created as a continuous society. But I don't think that they're biologically evolutionary different.
So you don't think there's any biological trace of our better, because I mean like the average person lives longer than someone like in 1900, like what was it was like people only lived to like 50,
50, yeah, like
and
50
now it's
years
like
old.
80, and they're saying by the time we're like in our 80s the average lifespan would be like 100. So
Yeah,
like
but
do you
I'm
think,
saying that's environmental, man. Because that's a medicines and like stuff that we made. I don't
Mhm.
think we've evolved though. I don't think we've evolved.
you don't
I,
think we've evolved at all?
I don't think. If anything, it's weird because we just talked about how like the society has only gotten better, more inclusive. But I'd actually say we're gonna be close to de-evolving in a way. Like I think um the reason why humans' brains were so big to begin with is because we had to we had to keep track of a lot of shit. We had to be like, these berries are poisonous, these berries are delicious, these berries make me see God because they're like psychedelic or whatever the fuck. Um and I was like, we have to look at the stars. We have to be aware of what creatures are out in the forest. We have to keep track of like, of how to build certain shit. And that's the reason humans' brains were so big because we had a lot. But now, like I said, like you're born and
But let's sorry to interrupt. Let me pose this to you.
okay,
So the average person, right?
Challenge.
So how I'm saying is how it's socially more acceptable now to be kinder, to be more understanding of other people's issues, right?
Mhm.
Let's say you find a guy who's very handsome, he's the guy of your dreams. You find a woman who's very beautiful, she's a woman of dreams. But that person is extremely racist, extremely not understanding, very closed-minded, all this stuff. You're probably not going to be with them for very long, right? Because I mean, maybe you could change your minds, but maybe you can't, right? You find someone else who is way more understanding,
mhm.
and they're obviously, because their insular cortex is aimed at that, so you might have kids with them. So you don't think the more understanding people are, you know what I'm saying, like
I'm
you
telling
don't
you,
think so?
I don't think so. I think it's a product of your environment, man. I think most of the times when I see people who aren't understanding, who aren't inclusive, it's not because of like anything of like their family was like just happen to be dumber. It's most of the time it's because they come from a income uneducated background, and because of that a lot of them either have prejudice towards certain races because of misunderstanding of like misconceptions. And obviously like you're not gonna want to be with them because you're like these fools are racist. Like I'm not gonna want to be with this girl because she's mad racist to like Asians and black people. um and it's not gonna be because of like it's not gonna change the genetics of humanity. I don't think so.
I
Because
feel
I know
like
what you're saying, and because earlier you had mentioned the dog thing about how like well not dogs, but like how sometimes we breed animals that are nicer, and like that is how we got dogs. I mean, we breeded the weakest of the wolves and got dogs. Actually, you know what? That does make me think
that's
now.
right, right?
That does make me
That's
think.
right.
That's true.
Because well, think about it. Because if cats almost if they're like if their owners abandon them, they almost always go feral. Like they pretty much go back to being wild animals.
I get what you're saying.
Dogs,
Now. That's crazy.
dogs dogs really don't go feral. They become wild, but they're kind of stuck being they rely on people. So and dogs are really friendly. They would not if you put a dog in a forest, it would not survive. It might survive in the city because it'll pick up scraps and stuff like that, but in the forest, it's not gonna survive.
But you know what's weird about that? Okay,
Well,
like
because the trait to be friendly is
Yeah.
more favorable. So I'm like, I feel like because people can
uh-huh.
conceptualize being like kind and stuff like
Uh-huh.
that we are inadvertently
Mhm.
like. I think it's because it's so big a world. It's
Mhm.
happening extremely slowly,
Mm.
but I feel like that's the direction. That's just my opinion. Though.
Okay, so being on your side for a second of what you're saying of like if people continue to choose their mates, right?
Mhm, right.
These their SOs or whatever people want to call them,
SOs.
their girls, their hyenas, whatever. If they want to, if society as a whole continues to choose people who are nicer, smarter, more inclusive, would humanity eventually evolve? Okay, being on that side, wouldn't it actually be the opposite? Because people who tend to have the most kids are people who are dumb, uneducated, and usually people who are uneducated are usually the ones who are more racist, more aggressive,
Well,
and
but
more.
what's interesting about that is that the average person now is having less kids,
Mhm.
and they're having them at a later age.
Mhm.
And I feel like just because the not to be weird, but like you know how you're saying like people are uneducated and
Mhm.
they usually have more kids. I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's just not sustainable in a way, in a weird way. Because I feel like you associate intelligence with a lot of good qualities, right? Like an intelligent, a very well-read, intelligent, educated person is in general more accepting. Like Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bill Nye have always been like, I don't understand what the big deal is about transgender rights. Like if that's their opinion, that's their opinion. Who am I to judge? And like that's interesting to me because I feel like in general that's the because it seems like that's where society's going. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like I don't know how to articulate how maybe
I
having less kids
there's,
is gonna because I feel like
there's no way, dude. Like it's cause people in the ghetto, people who I mean, I'm just looking at my family or look at your family's history, man. Like Mexican families, a lot of times they don't have that much money, and they end up having like 12 kids, and a lot, and like we talk about machismo and like all the shit that the Mexican cultures have, and it's from us. The reason that happens is because it comes from a place of uneducation.
but I feel like even the most like downtrodden society eventually moves to so like one day like maybe 200 years in the future America's going to be like a city of gods, right? Because I'm assuming technology and stuff. So the most the country that's in like terrible conditions now is probably going to be like where we are now. You know what I mean? So like everybody's incrementally moving in kind of the same direction, otherwise we'd all be on different playing fields, right? You get what I'm saying?
But like, okay, and this is weird because it is totally subjective, but let's say so now would you consider conservatives in the United States to be most of America's uneducated population? I know it seems like a question out of left field, but it's a serious
I
question.
feel like in general they have to be
Okay,
right?
so using that, let's say in the United States, our this is gonna sound so mean, but our dumbest people are conservatives, right? Republicans. Those conservative Republicans made up almost 50% of people who voted for Trump. Like he almost won this most recent election. So going back to when I say that uneducated people have more kids than people who are educated. I feel like if anything, the election shows that that's true because a lot of people voted for Trump.
But 50, 60 years ago, the entire world was like that. Or the entire
That's
country
true.
was
That's
like
true.
that. Now it's 50% and 50 it's 50-50. So what I'm saying is it seems like slowly but surely everybody's kind of, and I'm not saying I don't know whether I'm not arguing what's good and what's bad. I'm
Mhm.
saying the entire world is moving to things that we label as good. Right? Do you get what I'm saying? Like it just feels like
Hmm.
like Russia is very unaccepting of the gay community, right?
Mhm.
But you go back like 50, 60 years, that wasn't even in the conversation for them to even like talk about gay rights. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And now that America, which is usually like the trend setter, I'm sorry to call it a trend, but you know what I mean? It
Mhm.
seems like
Yeah.
things are getting more in that conversation because everybody's on the phones and information's like you can get it whenever you want.
Mhm.
So I feel like, yeah, there's gonna be uneducated people and it's gonna go like this and like that. But I feel like in the general area, it's gonna go up. That's just my opinion though.
I could see you. I could see that. I could see exactly what you're talking about. But to me, it's almost like a different playing field because yeah, it's true. Before everybody was like that. Let's say everybody in the United States was mainly conservative. Yeah, most people were like if I see a gay person, I'll beat them up. If I see a woman and try to talk back to me, I'll give her a backhand.
Mhm.
And it seems like we've only become more and more inclusive. But also we've grown as a population. Like we're like what 10 times the size we were when these ideas were happening. So if you really think about it, those people who like let's say the American population was 100 million in the 1950s when it was super like against gay rights and like misogynist and sexist and all this other type of shit. Um, they've only grown. They haven't shrunk. They've grown. It's just that also the people who are on the other side, the I guess liberal side, have also grown. But that like racist population never shrunk. It only got bigger.
But you don't think so? You don't think in like 100 years, like 2100, that there's gonna be less race? There's probably still gonna be racism, but you don't think that there's gonna be more inclusion than there is racism in 100 years?
It depends on population size because it. The more I think about it, the more I'm like,
well, because they're saying in like what is it like 2050 where everybody's gonna be kind of indistinguishable because
yeah.
it's gonna.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
like I feel like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like
You
I don't
mean
know.
the erasure of race? How in 2050 it's predicted that everybody's gonna be kind of mixed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
So like I feel like
well, you know what's weird about that is you and me will probably still be alive in 2050.
yeah.
So I don't know about the erasure of race. I don't know if I'll be looking around and like, and I
Yeah.
will be like, what is this guy?
No,
I'll
no,
be like,
no.
because I mean, I look pretty indigenous Mexican, like,
No, I agree.
and like, wait. Side note, shout out to the chat that's been blowing up. Julie, I'll let you read them because I know me and Ben
Yeah.
have been dominating.
Patty with Fatty said, "This is off topic, but there's evidence of living creatures that can turn into crabs, which is evidence of evolution."
He's saying what he's talking about is in like in the animal kingdom, almost everything is like evolving into like a crab. Which
Really?
yeah, like
I didn't
yeah,
know that.
there's
What?
yeah, like
Why?
they don't know.
They don't know?
They don't know.
So we're all gonna turn into crabs
Well, they-
at some point.
Well, because I forgot what there's like a really cool like TikTok about it where it's like talking about how you know what convergent evolution is, right? How just because bats and birds fly doesn't mean that they're the same species.
Mhm.
It just means that they convergently evolved the ability to fly.
Mhm.
So what Patrick's referring to is in the animal kingdom, a lot of animals are like they're going into crab form, which nobody knows why. I'm
Interesting,
sure
yeah.
there's an
I feel like
explanation. I just don't remember.
It's kind of scary in a way. What if it has something to do with like
What if they're going
pollution?
immune? Yeah.
Maybe. I mean,
Don't what
Like
is
they're-
it crabs that live forever? Or it's lobsters, right?
lobsters and jellyfish.
They're
Maybe
they're
they are.
morphing. They're like morphing because
Well,
of
that's interesting, though, right?
because
Do
of
you
the
think-
ocean and everything,
Yeah.
pollution.
Well, I mean, I was gonna talk about you know how you mentioned the like coyote thing. I had seen like there's this TikTok of these. I fucking think it's repulsive. It's just my opinion.
Oh, it makes me want to throw up.
There's this TikTok of people hunting cougars, like people hunting cougars with dogs, and I think that's fucking. I really dislike that.
Hunting cougars with dogs?
Or they'll hunt cougars like mountain lions.
Yeah.
With dogs, like that's a thing. Like they'll send dogs, and the dogs.
And why do you
will
think
ch-
that's disgusting?
I just don't. I really dislike hunting for sport. Like, I don't mind if you're hunting to like I'm gonna eat the animal or it's a religious practice because I feel like hunting an elk and shooting it is way more humane than how they treat cows in the dairy factory. But I don't know. I just feel like hunting for sport is weird. I just don't understand it.
You know what, that kind of makes me think. Would you to go ahead and read the rest of the comments and I'll save this.
All right. And then Andy Mendoza said, "This is heavy, super interesting." And he said, "Hey, brother, what's up?"
Hello,
What's up, Andy?
What's up, Andy? And then again, Patty with Fatty said, "I should bring my sociology
Professor. You should, man. I'd love to have him on the show. What I was gonna say is like you talking about that how it disgusts you, and this is not me digging at you at
No,
all because
100%.
I get that, but I'm saying like don't you think it's interesting that how we're talking about humans evolving, we kind of lose our stomach to do a lot of those things, and kind of I hate painting things in such black and white, but since we live in the United States, is I obviously have to use it as an example. So like how most people who are liberal and like left side Democrats are usually the ones who are like, oh no, I don't like hunting, I don't like aggression. Obviously, let's talk things out. And people who are on the conservative side are the ones who are like, I'll fuck you up, like let's go, I'll shoot you with my gun. Don't you think that there could be a time where conservatives are kind of being like, yeah, where not only will they split, but they'll be like, man, I really don't like those guys. Like, I really don't like these guys. We could take them easily. We're like, especially if we're talking about like hundreds of and thousands of years in the future, where like now we're so split that like the conservatives are like buff,
You know what?
fucking like
What
freaks.
that reminds me of? I read this book in like middle school. It's called The Time Machine, and like he goes into the future, and like humans are like, I think it's like the Eloy and the Ewok or something, but
The
like,
Ewok from Star Wars?
I'm misquoting
No,
it, but like it's split. There's like these big barbarian like monsters that live underground, and then there's like the smart like dainty like that live above ground, and it just reminds me of that. But I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen.
That's what's gonna happen with the Democrats and the Republicans.
But I feel like
You never know.
it's not. I really don't have a problem with hunting. I just don't like hunting for sport. Like I don't get the fun in like just killing a.
but conservatives do.
No, I get that, but like because people always talk about how like in like Africa, part of what keeps conservation in Africa is hunting for sport. So like the money they pay, like they'll pay like $10,000-$15,000 to shoot a lion, and that's obviously $10,000-$15,000 for conservation. And Ricky Gervais had a great joke about it, and I was like, and he said that's like donating $1 million to cancer research and being like, let me kill one of them though. like we should just do it out of out of kindness. I don't know. I just feel like I just don't get it. Like I don't get it. Like I feel like animals are like why? Like I don't get it.
But you eat meat.
I know that's why I really.
He's trying to cut down, right?
I'm
Is
trying
that right?
to go. I feel like I understand the argument where people are like, if you can't kill it yourself, you shouldn't get it. And I don't think that's everybody. I feel like that applies to me because I feel like I've gone fishing and I like fish and I can eat a fish. I don't think I could kill a cow if someone was like, go kill that cow. You know what I mean? Or like even a chicken, I'd be like, I don't know if I could kill that chicken. He's just chilling. I like chickens. They're funny. Like, you know what I mean? They're just chilling. But yeah, that's just me. Like I maybe like lobsters and fish I can eat, but I don't know. It feels weird to like be like.
So you don't think if okay, now let's relate this back to what you're talking about. You don't think if you were born like hundreds of years ago, you'd have that stomach? Do you think you'd still be the same person you are now?
I feel like I know people talk well because I feel like that's different because
He's like that's different.
Well,
because it's me.
Well, I feel like it's
Got
different
him.
'cause,
Got
like,
him.
Got him.
Got him.
Like let's say I'm starving, right? I could probably shoot an elk, right? Because it's like that. But like if you look at like how they kill,
You're all furrow and shit, dirty.
Yeah.
Like you're like, let's say if I was starving and homeless.
well, because like I remember Joe Rogan talked about how he's like I get why people dislike hunting for sport, but he's like hunting to eat's like it's way people don't understand that, but I understand that. Like he's talking about how like you shoot one elk, that's like food for a year because they're massive. And like it's over in an instant, you know. The elk is probably gonna get eaten by a wolf, ripped apart. Like it's if the animal's gonna die, this is the best way it'll die. You know what I mean? And I agree with that. But like Have you seen that horrible video where there's a bunch of chicks in like a farm and they just fucking turn the blender on them? They're alive too.
No.
No.
That's nasty. I don't know that kind of stuff. Like I don't know, puts me off. But I'm sorry to be a vibe killer. But,
No, it's cool. It's cool. I mean, when you put it in that way, it honestly gives it a new perspective. Well, yeah, I mean, in terms of like the animal kingdom, a lot of animals are gonna die in a painful, gruesome way, and I mean,
Yeah.
you're kind of saving them a lot of suffering if
Yeah.
you kind of just boom and
and he was
they're
also
dead.
talking about how like it's a spiritual kind of thing, and I agree. You know, the
But that's also
natives
that's
kinda-
hunting for
Hunting-
food,
hunting
right?
for food. I
for
really
sport,
go
right?
right ahead, but hunting like, why would I
Like
shoot
just
it?
to kill.
Like just to kill, like you know how people pay to kill like an elephant? Like why the
Mhm.
fuck would I want to kill an elephant? Like they're those like look at that thing.
They're-
That's
yeah.
what a marvel of evolution that
Yeah.
that's the biggest land animal ever. I'm just gonna kill it for fun.
Okay.
Do you think there'll ever
I
come a
get it now.
day where humans will, maybe our pets will still be alive, but for the most part, most animals are gone?
I feel like Earth's gonna become like a conservation place. People are gonna go off into space.
Yeah, you think so?
Like,
But do you think in our lifetime we'll see like? Because I mean, aren't rhinos extinct already?
not
Yeah.
all rhinos. I think one branch of them, like black
The
rhinos
silver
or white rhinos.
I think
or
it was the
something
silver,
like that.
like
Yeah.
the silver rhino.
That's really sad to me. Like they just went extinct because people wanted their horns.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like I don't get it. I don't get the fun.
well,
in-
because there's so many diverse and beautiful animals that are like. Sometimes I get so caught up in human problems and human like creations, like we live in the city and
Mhm.
all this other stuff, that sometimes when I look at actual videos of like giraffes or tigers
You're like,
or
wow.
seals, I'm like, damn, it's crazy that like these are kind of our cousins. I mean, we're Primos Chidos, right? And these are like our real cousins, like our brothers and sisters. Like they were, because we talk about space and going off to space and how maybe one
Yeah.
day millions of years will pass and humans will be on other planets.
Mhm.
And like I feel like we're forgetting that these animals that are here, they're like as closely related to us as anything else we'll ever
Like-
find in space.
What
Yeah.
always intrigues me is I don't really like chimps. I love them, like I respect them, but I don't like them because like they're scary in that sense. Like I
Yeah,
feel-
you know what? I agree too. A lot of people really like chimps,
Mhm.
like apes, but I feel like apes give me too much of like an existential crisis
I
because they
like-
look too much like us.
the only
Yeah.
I only dislike chimps because I feel like they're too violent and scary. But I like gorillas. Like they're always just. Well, I think it's crazy though that people can like actually have a conversation with the fucking gorilla. Like
Yeah,
the
the
people where they
sign
have a
language?
sign language. Like what? Like he understands me.
Yeah.
Like wow, that's insane. And they're going extinct. Like because people are killing them. Like wild. Or like how elephants have PTSD because that's why they assume that they kill a bunch of people is because they saw like their parents get mutilated to get there.
Mhm.
That's like wow.
I mean, elephants famously have graveyards, so they
Yeah.
have a concept and an
Yeah.
understanding and even a tradition of death,
Even
Yeah.
like
even
the same way that humans do.
even chimps they found that scientists found that they do rituals and they don't know what they're assuming is it's a religious ritual.
Well, there's an animal that buries its dead along with humans. Do you know which one it is?
I think a lot of animals do. I think elephants kind of do.
Bury their dead.
Elephants.
I think
kinda do.
elephants do that.
Elephants kind of do, and I don't know.
Do giraffes, or is that just something I learned from Madagascar?
I don't think giraffes do.
I
Because
think
remember
it's
in
just
Madagascar,
Oh,
he's like
the
he's
head.
waiting in the he's waiting in the
Yeah,
hole.
Yeah.
No, I think it's elephants.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's like I don't know. That's why I'm like I wonder if it's because if you look at animals, you can see that they're like a lot of them are like humpback whales. What's interesting about them is they'll protect other animals just because they hate. So
Mhm.
killer whales, obviously, they're the dominant predator of
Mhm.
the ocean, and they eat baby whales. They'll go after seals, and if humpback whales are in the vicinity, they'll like go out of their way to like fuck up the hunt. So they'll be like, yeah,
Really?
like this one guy who was on Joe Rogan, he was talking about how he's like a triathlon swimmer or something like that,
Mhm.
and he was just swimming in the ocean. You know, some people do that. who are,
Yeah.
like crazy
Yeah,
athletes.
dude.
Mhm.
Some people do. Yeah.
And he was talking about how like this whale, I think it was like a fin whale. They're big whales, but they're like on the smaller side of whales.
Mhm.
Was just up like swimming up to him, and he was like, "Oh, should I be like worried to like the boat who's like obviously following him?" And he was like, "No, like those are really friendly." And he saw like there was a shark around, and the guy was like, "I think the whale thought you were a seal that was injured, and it was helping you get past the
Mm.
shark." And like
Wow.
that's crazy that animals do that. That
Mhm.
they're like, "Oh man, like there's sharks around here. Get out of here." You know what I mean?
Wow.
I mean, it goes back like so.
Christ.
So then you think objectively, like morals? Do you think all animals have like
I don't know.
something an intuition to tell them to protect and to collaborate and like
Well, I don't know. That's why I was like, I feel like it coincides with intelligence. Because, like, obviously, like, not to be mean, but the most intelligent animals, or the ones that we consider intelligent, are the ones that are usually the kindest, right?
Mm,
Like, whales are very smart,
Yeah.
elephants are really smart, chimps are obviously really smart, gorillas are really smart. Whereas you look like
dolphin.
I don't know, like a shark. Like a shark's not gonna be like, "Hey, bro," it's just gonna eat you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, or like a
Mm.
crocodile or something like that. But even then, like sometimes people are like, they'll raise crocodiles and the crocodile will like the guy. That's just I don't know. That was a grand spiel that I had.
Right, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, it kind of makes you think a lot about death. Would you rather be what? Do you want to be buried or cremated?
I don't know. There's a lot of concepts that I like of both. Like I like the ones where people like grow into trees, where they put you in a pot and you
Mhm.
become a tree. I think that'd be cool.
What if you're like an ugly ass little skinny ass tree? and I'm like, that's the brother Brandon.
That's the homie Brandon.
I like what what
Bruh.
I like what Neil deGrasse Tyson says. He says he wants to just be put in the ground. Like no, you know how when people put formaldehyde, is it formaldehyde that like preserves you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He says he doesn't want that. Like he wants
Oh,
to
literally, like the hour that he's dead.
just put me in the ground, like in a wooden casket. Like let me go back to the earth, like like I'm supposed to. And I feel like I like that. I like that
Julie.
just going back to earth.
I don't know. Because it's the same like when you're cremated and people are like, they just throw you somewhere.
I feel like cremation kind of scares me a little
But it's
too.
kind
like,
of,
you
but
know
it's
what I
kind
mean?
of like they have to burn you.
Yeah,
and
that-
I'm kind
you
of
know?
like, I don't know how I feel about
Feels
that.
disrespectful or what?
Yeah. I think-
it feels disrespectful.
You know what it is? I think I have a weird like conditioning because I remember being a kid and the church was unaccepting of cremation.
Is that true?
The church used to
I
be
don't
like
remember.
not accept. They would be like, I think the response. You know how in the Bible says from dust ashes to ashes. They're
yeah,
like only
dust to
God should be
dust.
able to do that, so we shouldn't do that.
What is it from dust you came from
From
dust
industrial,
you shall
something
be
like that.
you shall be again.
I think it's ashes to ashes or something, and dust to dust or something like that.
Yeah, I know that, but there's another one that's like
No, I
from
don't know.
dust you came and then you'll be again. Something
Right?
like
Because
that.
then God supposedly mold us from clay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So Julie, final decision. Just right now, just so I know.
Just bury me in a coffin.
Just do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
Patty
Well,
with a fatty says crows also recognize death.
That's true. That's true.
Do they?
Mhm.
I mean,
Crow-
aren't they supposed to be like a
Crows are actually really, really smart.
Really?
They're like I think they're like number 3 or something like that.
Who's number
Crow?
one? Who's number one?
Obviously us, and I think
Who's number two?
I think dolphins.
yeah,
Yeah,
dolphins?
dolphins.
They got big
I
old
don't know
brains.
about number 3 now that I say it like that, but they're up there. They're like
Now that I say that.
'cause I forgot what they can do. I think they have self-recognition. Like if you put a mirror, the crow understands that that's itself.
Really?
And I think that's a big measure of like the animal. If an animal's smart, it understands its reflection. I think self.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I think is
Interesting.
really interesting. Now thinking about the animal kingdom and all its organisms, mushrooms, like
Mhm.
because you've heard about that thing how like almost everything that exists in the earth like it like eats living things like
Yeah.
except mushrooms.
What's interesting is I saw that TikTok of a guy talking about a trip on he was on heavy mushrooms,
Mm.
and he said he was just out of it, right? He was saying that he in his trip he was talking to the mushrooms, and we've talked about it how like the mushrooms talk to you in a weird way,
Mm-hmm.
like how
Yeah.
it's just ideas pop in your head that are really clear.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he was saying like it felt like he was kind of having a conversation, and he was talking about how he had done ayahuasca not very long before, and the mushroom was laughing, and he was like, all the other plants bow to me. The mushroom said that, and he said because after everything dies, mushrooms grow. And I was like, that's pretty cool. Like mushroom.
You
I
see,
like that
remember
concept.
I've always
though.
told you mushrooms are your friend too.
I like that concept though, that like certain things have like a spirit. Like
Mm.
there's like there's like a lion spirit or like a mushroom spirit. I
Do you
like
think,
that concept.
Do you think that's in our DNA because of our indigenous roots?
Maybe I don't know.
Do you do you think our white homies wouldn't be like, nah, y'all tripping?
Maybe.
Tripping.
I don't know. I'd like to live in a place that's like I've always wanted like a cabin, and then I'd grow a forest around it.
Mhm.
'Cause I don't know. I like plants,
Bro, but then what if a monster gets there? Like you said,
the plants will protect me.
Bro, if in the future, like we're old and gray, and you're living on your ranch like you always wanted to, and I go visit you, and you're like, don't go out past 12, by the way. Just trust. Don't go out past 12. If
Like, bro,
if you like forgot
what?
something in your car, and you're like, it'll be real quick. Trust me, no. Like I'm
Yeah.
telling you right now, I locked the door too, so you can't even if you wanted to. But like, let's say I just
Bruh. It's
forgot.
like
If I'm saying that, like if I'm saying that, you better listen to me, bro. You better listen to me. If I'm saying
It's
I
like-
would never come back, bro.
It's like the quiet place, bro.
I'd be like, or I'd come back, but I'd be scared. I'd be like, damn, the sun's setting. Should I go back?
well,
inside?"
you know what I think? Because it's spooky season, I think that there are spirits in the forest. Like I think there's like, I don't know. I feel like there's like not like a ghost. Like "Ooh," I think it's kind of like
like
you know
like the Japanese
vibes.
suicide forest.
I feel it is more like the forest is kind of alive and it has
Yeah.
like you know.
It has like
have you ever seen Princess Mononoke?
no,
You
no.
should
You
really
told me
watch
about
that,
it though.
bro. I really like that movie.
But
But anyways,
go
it's
on.
about Japanese lore and how there's spirits in the forest. I think that's really cool. Like I like.
Interesting.
I think I sent you that TikTok. a
So
long
do you
time ago.
think? Do you genuinely think? If you grow in the future when you live on your ranch and you grow a forest around it, do you feel like then there'd be like a living spirit in your forest?
I think it'd be kind because I don't. I have a. You've seen my house. I have a big oak tree, and I've always wanted to
Yeah,
collect a
you
bunch
do.
of oak trees are protected because they're endangered. I think.
Mhm.
I've always wanted to get a bunch of acorns because it pisses acorns
Mhm.
like around now. I've always wanted to like if I move away, plant another one or plant a bunch so that they grow. And I feel like I'd have an oak tree forest because they get massive, bro.
You have to hug the tree, bro.
Well,
So make sure
I
make
like
sure
that. I like
Hug
that.
trees.
Before we
people.
move on to another topic, because I know half the show's gone, but
it's okay. It's okay.
I,
Patty with a fatty said skinwalkers. Julie, do you know what that is?
No.
Explain it, bro. You know probably.
it's a Native American legend. I think is it Navajos? It's a Navajo.
I
I
think
don't
It's like
remember.
it's a Native American.
It's a
legend,
Native
though.
American legend, and
Mhm.
I feel like TikTok overblows it, where it's like they're like these evil demons.
Sometimes-
it's more like it's witches.
Sometimes it's literally just a crackhead, and they're like the skinwalker.
It's a skinwalker.
And
It's
it's
just
like, bro, that guy's just drugged
I
out.
think the legend is that like they were like these evil like native witches who would
Mhm.
like they take the forms of like a coyote or something like that. They obviously skinwalker, right? They're
Mhm.
but I feel like people TikTok makes it like white.
The reason they're called skinwalk
White.
the reason they're called skinwalker is because they're said to mimic a lot of human things in order to entice you to go over them. And then what happens when you go over them? They kill you or what?
I think they eat you or something. They sacrifice you. I don't know. Not trying to disrespect.
There's like I need to do more research, but I know Skinwalker Ranch, right? That's the biggest one, right?
That's crazy.
That-
That ranch is like where people say like aliens and stuff come through, and a lot of people believe. I don't know. if
A lot of
it's-
people say it's us.
A lot
Where
of
is
people
that
say it's-
located?
I think it's in Utah,
Yeah,
or Arizona, or something.
When,
like
when
that.
we go home, we'll look into it.
But anyways,
Watch.
before I move on, I
Yeah.
like that native legend. I think I sent it to you where it's like animals don't like man, so they made a deal with like spirits to like give a disease for every animal that they kill to man. But plants were man's best friend, so plants vowed to every time the animals put a disease on man that there'd be a plant that would grow that would be the cure to the disease.
Whoa,
Wow.
where'd you hear that?
I sent it to you. You never watched the shit I sent you.
I do. I never
Wow.
miss. I literally
Wow.
never. I always watch
It was on
everything.
TikTok, and I think there's this. I really like those where it's like native wise men, and he was talking about how that's why you respect
Well,
the
it's 'cause-
plants.
You know what I think it is too? Is sometimes you send me stuff and it either gets deleted or the sound gets muted, and so they're just
They're
Just-
just talking.
But yeah, I like that legend. I think that's really
I
cool.
I can feel that because I feel like a lot of us rely on herbs and stuff
Mhm.
like for healing and medicine.
Like
So
mom.
yeah, like
Like
mom.
I-
does.
like I-
my mom is so indigenous in a lot of ways. She hugs trees.
She
one
hugs
time,
trees,
one time,
yeah.
my sister laughed at her for hugging a tree, and
I
my
just thought it. I wasn't laughing like making fun of her. I just thought it was the cutest thing, so I just started laughing.
Well,
I
my
was
mom
just
got insecure.
"Wow."
Like I
was
agree. I
"That's so
feel like
cute."
I feel like plants are. I agree with. I don't know that big pharma is like this evil conspiracy. I feel like they probably don't want you to like get well without meds, but I feel like there's a lot of plants that'll do you some good if you eat them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I like that legend.
I always also
if you ever,
Siphon-
bro, if you ever can't sleep, you should. This is my mom says you should do. If you ever can't sleep, go outside to the grass to where there's some dirt. Take off your shoes
And
and
earth.
and step in it, and the earth should absorb the energy that you have, and that you'll be able to sleep. That's what my mom says.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
That's what I was gonna mention. I was like, mom likes walking outside like barefoot in the dirt.
Mhm.
She's like, it's nice. She likes connecting with the earth a lot.
Yeah.
So
She says if you ever feel sick to
Go out in the sun.
go out in the sun and sit in the sun for a little bit.
I remember I told you my dad always would make me because his dad would make him because my dad was a gardener and his father before him was a gardener.
And you shall be a gardener too.
I
The
kinda,
legacy.
I want to go to I want to go back to school to get a degree in that as well, just to kind of
Mm.
like you know what I mean.
I'll
But
join you. I'll join you.
That's cool. I'm down.
Fuck it, I'm down too.
I want to go to. I'd like to go to.
I
Santa,
like
I'd
school.
like to go to Santa Barbara. You see Santa
Oh
Barbara?
yeah, everybody says
Party
Santa Barbara is
school?
beautiful.
It is
It is.
beautiful.
It is
I've never been
beautiful.
there. I've never been there.
It's because I've always wanted to learn how to surf, and I'd be like, it's a beach school, and like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a chill guy.
We're from
so-
California. We have to learn to surf. man.
But yeah, my dad would always say, if a plant's not giving, like if you have a lemon tree and it's not
Mhm.
giving you lemons, you're supposed to scare it. Like you'll say, talk about like, oh, I'm gonna get rid of this tree, or like,
I better start stretching to get rid of this
my
tree.
my dad would always do that because my grandma would always give me plants.
Mhm.
She gave me a plum tree. I forgot what it means in like Chinese. When I graduated middle school, she gave me like a plum tree, and it wouldn't grow. And I remember my dad would be like, "Go scare it." Like what? Like go tell it you're gonna chop it
You're
down
gonna
or hit
fuck
it
it up.
or hit it or cut like a branch or hit it with an axe.
You
and
should have
it-
just been like, ooh.
It worked. It seems like it works. I don't know. Maybe
No, I mean, I think it's true though, because I mean, in terms of like beyond spirituality, trees are living organisms, and they're like, oh shit, like I'm finna die. I don't want to
what
die.
Patrick said. What
about-
about you? See, I think that's what I mean. The one with the slugs. The Santa
Oh, that's Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz. Yeah, I want to go there because I feel like it looks cool.
Shout out to Patrick, Patty with a fatty. We keep saying his real name. He's probably people are gonna pull up to his house and everything.
But anyways,
Yeah.
that was a great conversation. But we'll continue that next week.
Yeah.
We were gonna talk about the hit the sound, Julie. Hit the sound.
Oh, we're hitting
Oh.
that now.
Hit the
No-
lights.
No questions.
Do you want to do the questions?
No, we could
Go
do
ahead,
that next
go
time.
ahead,
No,
go
we
ahead,
could
go
do
ahead.
that next time.
No,
Alright,
I
yeah,
feel like
we'll
we
do
should.
that next
I feel
time.
like
We'll
we
do that
should.
next
No,
time.
I feel like we should do the questions
Yeah.
because this is kind of a heavy topic, anyways.
So we're not gonna talk about that then.
We just said next week.
Next week.
Again. All right. Well, I only have a couple questions, so
Can we
it's
get
probably
some
gonna be
music
short.
for your awesome segment?
Some music. This guy. He's really confused.
Nice. That's
I
that's
hope
as
you-
loud as we can turn it, guys.
Yeah.
Because
That,
or
or
else
get copyrighted.
we don't want to get
It's
copyrighted.
because we're also on YouTube.
I wonder
so
what song
y'all
this
already
is.
know.
Ah.
Anyway.
Oh.
All right. So first question, y'all, and of course our listeners, y'all could join in the live
Our
chat.
lovely listeners, Patty with
Yeah.
the Fatty and
Yeah,
Andy
and
Mendoza.
Andy, and
I
if
wonder
there's
what
more
that guy's
people.
real name is.
Andy Mendoza.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't say his real name.
I mean, he's commenting bold, putting his full name.
That's
And
why.
Andy Mendoza.
Let him be. let
It's
him
okay.
be.
There's probably like 15,000 Andy
I
Mendozas
like-
in just LA.
I like how Patty with the Fatty is like it's like a screen name, and we call him by his real name. And then Andy Mendoza is like, I wonder who this guy is.
All right. So first question, y'all. Does pineapple go on pizza?
I feel like I've never really had a bad pizza. There's always pizzas where I'm like, you eat that, and then I'll eat it. I'm like, this just tastes like pizza, and it's not bad at all. You know what I mean? Obviously, I prefer pepperoni, but I don't mind the pineapple on pizza.
There was this one time. I know this is true that he's never had a bad pizza, because this one time, me and Brandon were hanging out with a good friend of ours. And she ordered a pizza that was like, I don't know, it had like anchovies
It had
or like
anchovies
and, like,
mushroom,
pickles or some
like,
shit.
like different like cheeses, and it
like
stunk to high heaven.
And-
It smelled like 3 letters of the alphabet, bro.
What?
PF and U.
PFU. No, it smelled bad. It smelled like like
It smelled
not-
horrible.
it smelled like stanky farts.
like we were in the car.
And we were like, "Oh, you're gonna eat that? Like, oh, it's nasty." Like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, you're so gross." And then she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "I'm full. Do you guys want it?" And me and Brendan ate that shit up.
And we were like, I remember
Sober?
No.
No, not sober. But we were like, this shit was busted. We were like,
We were like, this shit was good.
that shit was good.
How do
What'd
you-
you order?
Patty would say,
Bro,
Bro.
Patty with the Fatty was famously there,
He
and
was driving.
he said, "Fuck no, bro, that made my car smell."
I
Bro,
heard-
you
I remember-
you clearly didn't have a taste, bro.
I remember it was good. So
Yeah.
Okay,
I
but
feel
we're
like I don't-
specifically talking about pineapple.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
really, I feel like if it's what you like, it's pretty cool.
But you,
I don't
you
mind
like
it at all. Like, my sister likes Hawaiian pizza, so
Mm.
like sometimes she gets it, and I eat that shit up.
My
Um,
my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, she likes it on there. But every time I've had it, I've always been
You
like,
don't like it?
it's
You
kind of
don't
nah.
like it?
I feel like-
it's a miss.
I feel
It's a
like
miss.
I feel like there's a way to do it wrong. Like sometimes it's just like fresh pineapple, but I feel like if it's crispy, like how they
Like
Oh,
do
al
it,
maybe.
pastor.
like how
To-
like al pastor, it's like
To me, it's too much of like. It feels like I'm eating like. It doesn't taste like it, but it's the equivalent of like an orange on like a pizza. Where I'm like,
Mm.
I
That
feel like
doesn't
this
feel-
doesn't work. This just doesn't
Mm.
work.
I don't know. I really like it.
yeah, I like it too.
I feel like there's a weird like
I-
just with your taste buds, like tasting like the sweet of the pineapple and then like the pepperoni or
I feel
something.
like-
well, because I get it with pepperoni.
I feel like pineapple, in my opinion, has like an interesting sweet.
Oh yeah,
Like,
get it with
it's-
pineapple. I've only tried it with the traditional one, the ham. The ham.
No,
and-
I've tried it with pepperoni.
Yeah, that's good too, bro. I
Either
don't
one's
The
mind
good
pepperoni
too.
one. I've never had the pepperoni one, but I've only ever had the ham one, and I feel like that. Nah, it's like double whammy of like
a
like,
double
what?
miss.
Double miss.
Airball?
Airball.
Airball?
Like
Um,
way off.
I like
Alright.
it though.
That was
Yeah.
loud.
All right, next one. In and Out or Shake Shack?
In and out easy all day of the week.
Okay, I need to address the elephant in the room for this question. There's somebody in here. I'm not gonna say his name,
That
so his
really
name just
loves-
rhymes. His name rhymes with fat dick.
Fat dick.
Um, This guy really, this guy 100% believes Shake Shack over In and Out, and nah, cap for so many reasons. Cap for so many reasons. Oh, it's like I can't even begin. Like my brain is just going everywhere. Like I'm not gonna turn this into a roast.
You're mad, bro.
I want to give Patty with a Fatty a chance. Oh, I just gave out who it was. I want to give him a chance to defend himself.
Well, here's
Just type in the
I know.
chat, bro.
I know Steve dislikes it, like dislikes the taste, right? You don't really like
Of
it.
Shake
It doesn't-
Shack?
What Shake Shack?
Yeah, like you don't like the burgers.
No, of both of you, I remember I liked it more than both of you.
I thought it, what? I thought I was like, this is okay. I remember I even ordered it on Uber Eats. I just feel like, in my opinion,
You ordered it on Uber Eats.
yeah, one time I did, and I feel like it gets the job done. It's kind of one of those.
I just feel like it's way too expensive,
I agree.
small, and like I don't like the fries.
yeah, me neither.
And but like In and Out, that shit.
In-N-Out,
I actually like
it's-
the fries from Shake Shack.
So I guess Pat. Oh,
In-N-Out.
TJ didn't talk. Said In and Out
Yes,
all day.
In and out all day. That's what's up.
That is what's up.
I feel like I feel like In and Out's just also like that's a burger. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like
that's where like all the memories come from, bro. Like after the beach, hanging with the homies, getting in. And
I
out.
just feel like it's so California, bro. I love
Has
it.
Shake Shack been around for a while or no?
Shake Shack is the East Coast version of basically In
I
and Out.
think that the
In-N-Out,
difference is
um,
because In and Out's kind of like a diner smash burger, and I think Shake Shack is like a chef made it, right? It's like supposed to be like not gourmet burgers, but
It's
like,
kind of supposed to be gourmet, yeah.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a gourmet burger.
yeah.
And that's why it's a little bit more pricey.
TGN
Mm.
Talk said Taco Bell
Or
or
Del
Del Taco.
Taco.
Taco
Oh.
Bell.
Taco Bell, come on.
Bell. Taco Bell. Oh, this was gonna be.
And then they said
controversial.
Pizza
Pizza
Hut
Hut
or
or
Domino's?
Domino's.
I say Domino's, but I know you guys like Pizza Hut.
I like
I
pizza.
don't
I like
know.
Pizza Hut. I feel like I'd say Pizza Hut over
I
Domino's.
feel like
I like both of them,
I
but
like
I'd say
both of
Pizza
them.
Hut over them.
I prefer Domino's. I'm
I like the thick crust.
Pornhub or X videos.
I've never used any of them. So
That-
I
that-
don't-
Brandon, I'll let you answer this one because I know you have a
I
strong
mean-
opinion on
I
this
mean,
one.
that's just not our show. Like that's
What do you-
sexual frequency. This is a question. I don't want to like
That's a
cut in.
question for
I don't
them?
want to cut into their gimmick. You know what I mean?
You know what? I'll let it slide.
Steve, I remember we had a conversation, bro, and you were like really defending. I forgot which one.
You can't steal my joke after I just said it like a few minutes ago.
I didn't steal your joke, bro. I'm just relating a story that happened.
All right.
But
And Patty with Fatty also said Taco Bell and Domino's.
So we agree.
I
This is
agree
why we're
with-
friends.
I agree with
This is
Patty.
why
with
we're
Well, I
Patty.
mean, I'm not saying.
Y'all
I'm
said
not,
Pizza Hut though.
I know. I said I
I
didn't
would say
like.
Pizza
I
Hut.
said Pizza Hut. I said
Patrick said.
Ex-
Patty with fatty.
Patty
You
Patty
know what?
Patty with fatty. Actually, not
If-
even joking around.
If Patty with Patty answers, I'll answer. And I feel like when I was like a 14-year-old kid, I feel like the platform of the X videos felt too like virusy. Like I was like, I feel like I'm gonna get something. Like, you know what I mean? So
Okay. You want me to be real right
Yeah.
now? You want me because you answered, so I'll be like, what you're saying. Just saying off what you were saying. Fucking yeah, like X videos. That shit looks like I'm gonna get a virus,
right, that's why I
Like-
was like, it scared me.
And
But
I'm not gonna put you guys out on the spot, but I have a friend who I don't know if you guys recently heard, but Pornhub had banned the use of all Visa and Mastercards on
Yeah.
their site.
Oh yeah.
So they famously took out like 80% of their videos on there, and now it's only like the high end, like high budget porn videos.
Mhm.
I have a friend, I'm not gonna say who was ranting to me that it's bullshit. That like they took out all the good shit. That like now it's all the fucking like too real.
I remember me and Patty with the Fatty were talking about this when we went to Korean barbecue.
It was probably the meat, bro. The meat was on your mind. And
Do
you
you
were
have
like,
any more questions for me?
All right, next one. Popeyes or church chicken?
I've never been to churches, but
Wow,
I feel like
disrespectful.
what is it
You're
really that good?
disqualified.
He's privileged.
You're disqualified.
What? I thought.
Have you guys seen that video that's like Popeyes and slash Church's Chicken deciding where to put their
Oh,
location?
and he's like, oh, and you're telling me there was a shooting? Perfect.
Bruh.
Oh, there's a homeless guy who like always harasses people. He's like, oh, he'll probably be a regular.
Can you guys start building right now?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Church. I've only ever seen church in like South Central. I've never really seen it near
I've
my
never
house.
been to churches,
It's good. I mean,
bro. You know what?
It's pretty good.
You know what I've always wanted to put out in the world.
But I
I
like
feel
Popeyes.
like I really like Canes, but I feel like it's slightly overrated in my opinion. This is me.
I feel like most people think it's overrated.
I think it's a little overrated. I feel like the sauce is whatever's, and I feel
No,
like
you
the
know what?
fries.
I-
I feel like
I
I'm
actually-
not that into the fries.
I actually know a lot of people who have said the same thing.
I'm glad I'm not alone.
That's what I'm saying.
glad I can't.
You're
came
not.
out.
I'd say
I'm
like
glad
most people say.
I'm glad
that.
I came out.
Bruh, how could you say that?
It took a lot of
I'm
courage.
just kidding.
I know it took a lot of courage, Brandon.
Don't come for him.
Yeah,
Don't come for him.
Don't comfort him. Oh, it's too strong. Or else that makes you feel too singled out. If I comfort you,
Yeah.
it should. You're having a human experience.
Next
Anyways.
question. Next
Bruh.
question.
Yeah.
Next question.
I'm gonna just play the this part.
Too
alright?
hot for TV. Too hot for TV.
Bro.
This show's fucking funny.
This show is funny.
We should have him,
Oh.
we should have him on the show.
Yeah, he's funny.
TGN Talk said
Oh.
Canes over
Dave's?
Chick-fil-A.
Dave, I've heard a
Dave?
lot. Canes over Chick-fil-A. I feel like I don't know. People have told me that I'm tripping, but I feel like Chick-fil-A used to be better. Like I feel like they're quality
tripping.
dipped.
You're
You're
tripping. It's the same thing.
I feel like they're quality dipped. I feel like when they were
think-
smaller, they made better shit. But then
I
when they
think-
became bigger, like they started
I
like
think
cutting
your-
corners.
I think you just your taste buds changed.
That's true. That could be true.
the, way,
too.
the way she said that sounded like a shot. So
It sounded. She literally said, "It sounds like you're the problem."
mm.
No, I'm
no,
kidding.
but, no,
I'm
but
kidding.
you know what I'm saying though is like I'm telling you, more people that I know hate on Canes, and I'm saying like I actually don't think it deserves the hate because that shit is cheap. That you could get like 5 tenders and the bread for like $9.
I feel like I like the tenders and I like the bread. I'm just not a fan of the sauce. I mean, I like the sauce. I'm just
Mm.
not crazy about it. And I feel like they're like rationing and shit with the fries.
Really, I feel like the fries. I never finish them. They're always too much for me.
I feel like they're always rationing. Like they're like
Really?
net thin. and
I feel like they give me a lot.
Mm.
But then
Uh,
again, I'm smaller.
Patty would have fatty said Dave's.
Dave's. I haven't had Dave's enough. I think I've only had it once.
I've had it.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
same thing. I've only had it a couple times. But
Oh,
on
really?
TikTok, I've seen a lot of people say like I've seen a couple food reviewers. You know how they have food reviewers
Uh-huh.
on TikTok? But like, Dave's is mad overrated. I actually really tried
Bland.
chicken and
I-
bland.
You know what's crazy? I'm gonna keep it real with both of you guys, and especially Patty with a fatty, famously used to work at Dave's.
Why would you say that?
Since
No.
since day one. I know I'm like giving his information. He also lives
He also
on,
went to school on.
No, but honestly, since the first time I ever went to Dave's, Patty with the fatty and a few friends took me, And honestly, since every single time I've gone,
Mhm.
I've actually never really liked it that
Never
much.
liked it that
Nah.
much?
Mm.
Drake's a major
Damn.
investor, bro.
I'm sorry to tell you because I've never told Patty with the fatty in person,
You're
but I've
crushing
actually
him,
never
bro.
really
You're
liked it.
crushing him, bro.
Damn.
Any
But
more
that damn
questions?
toast
Um,
is undefeated.
Uh,
From Canes or from Dave's? Because I know you can't be talking about Dave's.
Canes, absolutely. He's talking about the
I
Canes.
think he's talking
Yeah.
about Canes.
Yeah, he has to be talking about
That
the
Texas.
Canes.
Well, the only reason I was bringing up Canes is because I found out they have honey mustard, and I like the honey mustard at Wingstop. So I was like, maybe Canes will do me right
Oh, Wingstop or B Dubs.
with that. Wingstop.
And when I back in the day before
For what though? Like as
For
a
wings,
restaurant or for wings?
for
I'm going
wings.
Wingstop.
oh, for wings. When I was younger, it was B-Dubs, but they got rebranded, and ever since then, I don't like B-Dubs wings anymore.
I'm a Wingstop for lifers.
No, yeah, since we were smaller, she's always liked Wingstop. But when I was young, dude, nothing could beat fucking
I'm
B-Dubs,
gonna
man.
I'm gonna get Wingstop tatted.
You're
on
gonna
me.
get a Wingstop?
I'm gonna get a wing.
You should get Wingstop.
Oh,
Wingstop.
Patty with a fatty said that Dave's is mid. Yeah, it is. It is. It is, bro.
Wow,
It
some-
is.
Some ex-employee.
I actually what I liked about Dave's the first time I tried it is the fact that it's like spicy. I really like spicy like food.
What's,
So I
what's-
really that's the one thing that
What's
I really
that
liked.
other place that
Big
everybody-
Chicken?
that you always tell me to try that you say is really good?
Big Shack.
No, the one with the chicken that's like it's like coming. the ones that's the chicken that you squeeze and it goes.
That's Dave's, no?
no. There's another chicken place that everybody goes to. That's
I'm
like
trying to think. What are you
there's one in
talking
Hollywood. No,
about? Are you talking about are you talking about Jollibee?
not Jolly.
No.
What's the other one? I'm losing my mind thinking about it.
I love Jollibee. Shout out to the Filipinos.
There's the one.
That shit's good.
There's the one that people always record in there, and they're like, "Hey, what's up?" And the chefs are like, "Hey, what's up?" It's like always crowded. You remember you said that it's really good fresh. Like if you go there, it's really good.
Popeyes.
Popeye.
Stains,
What?
kid.
Now you're making me think.
Howlin' Rays.
Oh,
There we go.
I've only ever had it once. man.
El pollo loco.
Ah, yes.
All right, guys.
I love that.
Well, it looks like we're out of time.
We went from an in-depth conversation about morality to chicken places.
we were talking about chicken earlier in the show.
Yeah,
Actually,
wow. I guess it all comes back around. We're just
Yeah.
that good.
we were talking about what the best tasting chicken is. We gotta invite the coyote out to eat with us. Show him some real food.
Just buy an extra bag for him, bro.
All right, folks. Thanks to all the lovely folks that commented. TGN Talk. What a lovely show, I must say. Go
We
check
love
them
ya,
out.
Primos.
Go check out Patty with the Fatty show. Just kidding. But thanks for always supporting us, Patty with the Fatty. Andy Mendoza, thanks for supporting us. Thanks for
TGN
going to
Talk.
chat.
Thank you for coming through.
Check-
Coming through.
Check every TGN station, bro.
Yeah, because if you're not,
Everyone's great.
yeah,
We mentioned Sexual Frequency earlier. Go check them
go
out.
check them out.
They have an amazing
if anyone's
show.
gonna answer that porn site question, it's them. They know it. They know it.
They're not afraid to pull their punches.
They're the experts on that kind of stuff. All right.
All right. I'll
Well,
see you guys later.
We do a little trolling. It's called We Do a Little Trolling.
we need to get an Obama.
All right. See y'all.
See you guys.
Oh no!
All right. Now
no,
YouTube always has a
they
few
get
extra minutes.
premium content.
Go ahead.
They
What do
they
we?
get the, they
what
get
do they get
the-
this time?
What,
Bro,
what
let's-
special question
let's-
do they get?
Let's
We-
do the cholo. The cholo.
they should get a special question that we answer.
All right. Go
Or
ahead.
y'all can throw in some
answer
Do you know?
answers a question that'll like
I
that
don't
exclusive
know.
to you.
Let's answer it while we do the cholo handshake.
the cholo handshake.
The-
What are you doing?
You haven't seen it? I'll send it to
You
you.
have to.
Oh,
End it. I can't balance. I
I
had leg day yesterday.
don't know what
too.
the question is. Y'all got a
Ask a
question?
question.
Ask, no. End it.
What were you gonna say? What were you gonna say?
say?
What were you gonna say? He was gonna say answer tits.
Answer tits. Go answer.
Personality.
The beauty of her personality.
Personality.
Yeah.
Have you seen those ones where they write the personality?
And this.
All
I'm on the
right,
ground.
bye. Yeah.
Bye,
See you
everybody.
guys.
Who would win in a race, Brandon or Steve?
I've beat
Ooh.
you in a race before,
Damn.
I was going easy on you though.
but I dusted this fool. He's tripping. But
No,
I mean,
this food, if something scares him, he's out of there.
Nah, but
This
like
was fast.
he's been training, so we'll have to do a rematch in like a couple months.
Rematch soon.
Where we do like a Rocky.
We'll post it on our IG.
All right, goodbye.
All right, bye.